Okay, so with Temtem's challenge mode update now being out, a lot of people are wondering what's next for Temtem. And while I did make a similar video to this a year ago, that was before the full access release, so obviously what was next during that point in time was more content updates. But now that we're pretty much at the end of things, I figured that now would be a good time to talk about what's yet to come, but more so what the future could hold. So first of all, it is important to note that Temtem was a game that was backed by a Kickstarter campaign, and as of such, they've made various promises to bring certain features to the game, so obviously this would be the best place to look to see what's been completed, and by the looks of it, all that's left is to implement the arcade bar, which essentially is going to be an area that you could play various mini games in and receive prizes. I'm assuming a lot of these mini games are just going to be like Temtem spin-offs of classic titles. Maybe we'll see like a Temtem Pac-Man or a Temtem Flappy Bird, Temtem Match 3 or something like that. But in all actuality, this is sort of a cool side thing, but not really something I want to dwell too much on, because at least for me personally, I can see myself screwing around there for like 30 minutes, but probably never touch it again after that. The other big thing that is still coming, and I know a lot of people are excited about, is the final mythical Temtem, which will round off the Tempedia, making it complete. There's obviously a lot of different aspects to what this could mean, like what would the new Temtem look like, what type will it be competitively viable, etc., but we'll have to wait until the update to find out. Furthermore, there might be some sort of completionist rewards present with completing the Tempedia to keep in mind as well, so if you are still actively playing Temtem right now, it might be a good idea to complete the current roster so that you get access to whatever reward might exist right away, whether it be something akin to a shiny charm or a lump of Pansuns or whatever. In terms of what else to expect, I did reach out to the community manager Suki. However, with my upload schedule kind of being crazy and them being really busy this week, they weren't able to provide an official statement with the sort of short time I had to make the video, but we do at least know, based on a Reddit thread talking about what else is to come, as of at least 1 month ago, plans to add any further Temtem, and even the prospect of such is, and I quote, unlikely. However, they did state that there will be events, much like what we were supposed to see with the Valentine's Day event, I'm assuming. I'm sure there's going to be other holidays and such as well. They're going to keep supporting ranked play and, of course, the battle pass as well. She did also state that there are some secret and surprise updates coming, but if no new Temtem are part of these, I don't really see them being too crazy, like new areas or anything, because it'd feel kind of weird to have a new area or a new story beat without anything new to capture. But with that being said, Temtem has definitely delivered on its Kickstarter promises, especially with the arcade bar coming, and I know there are going to be people typing in the comments how this is never the plan. However, with the game being an MMO and having these events and battle passes and all this other stuff, you have to wonder what is going to keep players retained in the long term. Competitive is fun for some people, but even with ease of access via the Temtem Showdown system, I think it's still pretty clear that the competitive community is a small fraction of the overall player base, and while I think challenge mode will bring people back and adds replayability to the game, as someone who's beaten the game twice, once on Steam and once on Switch, I personally feel like doing subsequent playthroughs can feel a bit tedious in various aspects, and doing a third, fourth, fifth, sixth playthrough might quantify that extensively. Again, it does seem like the developers are happy with just having a game that sort of acts like an MMO light, if that makes any sense, where they're not too worried about retaining massive player bases and will just continue to cater to the small dedicated fans that they do have. I honestly can't really have an issue with this, even if I do personally think that if the game is going to be an MMO, it should feature consistent updates that bring players back that aren't part of the shiny hunting or competitive community. I feel like adding expansions with new Temtem and new areas, even if not as big as the island updates during early access, would still incentivize people to buy the battle passes that they're promoting in order to give the game extra funds, and would also bring completionists and shiny hunters back since there's new stuff to hunt for. I just remember when the Valentine's Day event was delayed until next year due to some issues, I was wondering to myself whether or not the game would even still have a steady player base by next year. And I'm not saying that it won't have its core audience, but I feel like if there is no reason for people to come back outside of the aforementioned ranked play, the dedicated players will slowly dwindle until the game isn't viable anymore. But at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm not a game dev, I'm just some person who likes to talk on the internet. Definitely know what your guys' thoughts are on the future of Temtem, whether you think it's a bright one with longevity, or if you think it's going to slowly dwindle from here. Either way, I will keep you guys up to date on Temtem, so definitely make sure to subscribe to my channel for daily monster taming videos. You can check out my Twitter, Discord, and Patreon linked below. Special thanks to the patrons, especially Jim Hamilton, Dro Ghost, Dark Persona, Exodus, and Candy Morency, and we'll see you next time. Peace.